see number 3 for the whole population is house check. Number 3 for just the rentals is domestic value. What else is interesting? This last page. So this is overtime and then projections based on computer modeling. For the whole population, 911 calls are projected to be roughly flat, a 1.15% increase. For just the rental population, they're projected to increase 51.2% over the next 10 years. Code cases are a bit more even, and they're also, the projection math doesn't work as well because we have this huge spike from when we
So it's,
started working harder at it.
you know, you don't have a true snapshot.
Yeah.
So. This is the one. Almost double. About the same. You know, any disturbances coming in?
Well, this is, so the top 10 911 call reasons, this is the whole population, this is just rentals. So rentals clearly aren't really using house checks.
Yeah.
But that implies the owner-occupied units are really using house checks.
These are the ones that are fascinating. Here.
We got the memo.
Here.
Right here.
Now that's here.
It must be black and
How's it going?
Those
How are you?
All right, yourself?
I'm good, thanks. Temperature's dropping here.
Yeah.
61 when I went home, and then now it's starting to come down.
School time, I let the dog out.
So I'm keeping it busy.
What's it?
It could be serving a court order, executing eviction. Somebody has a civil, a court order from a civil court that our officers are executing.
It's all good. It's first
Uh-oh. What? Oh my gosh. Ian's gonna fight me for these.
Well, it's for Aiden.
I know. Thank you. That was very nice. He does like sour. These specifically are his favorite.
What are they, Sour Patch Kids?
Like I said, they're not performing.
I don't know how he does it.
Size number of
He'll eat the whole bag,
they
like,
are calling for
in minutes.
much more serious.
I wish I had that kind of metabolism, right?
yeah, there's no way I could do that.
Yeah.
I'm being quarantined.
Too much?
No, but actually, I leave tomorrow.
I don't even put sugar in my coffee or tea.
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I just drink a lot.
Good, how are you?
That's the next time I see you.
I wish I would. You don't know how many properties we have in this category. 240.86.
And so this number, 581, tells us that most of these calls are either tapped in for R50 or R2F.
We're when you get started.
Nothing, no.
Yeah, I wasn't doing anything until Thursday or Friday.
I just want to keep it. Good.
40%. 40% of the properties have 22.5?
22.5 are rentals.
Oh, okay.
That's what this
Well, now
one
you're
is.
also-
And then this one is code cases
On Friday, they said he was talking.
at rentals specifically, out of the total. So of the total 581, 150 occurred at a rental. And then of the total 10,000 911 calls, 2,500 occurred at a rental.
Yeah.
25%.
I like your box.
Yeah.
Looks nice.
You bring plaque, did you?
No, it said for work. Was I supposed to present it tonight? I can go back and get it, we got time.
No,
I had one of your guys go up to the
no,
office.
it's okay not having it presented, remember?
Wow.
Okay.
It doesn't matter how big the deal,
Yeah, but when were we gonna do that?
it's on your time schedule,
Okay,
it's not on my time schedule.
okay.
Myself and the lieutenant completed, training through FBI, which is
Exterior property
a
areas.
training organization that is trying to bring
Maintenance.
That's one of our old code
education down
sections,
to
that
local
it was a
levels
sort
so
of
that
catch-all that they
local departments
leaned
can
on
experience,
almost exclusively for
education.
the old years.
Get that collaboration with
They
multiple.
leaned very heavily on the catch-all.
Yeah, but
Recent concerns, issues.
bring it down, I can do it.
Things like that. Fine, they can sit. The Facebook, media goes to the hires right now.
And just solid waste.
We just, I saw it was
Yeah, I didn't see that.
And it's
Same
been
thing,
very
15%.
We did it,
That's not insignificant.
I did it prior to the lieutenant completing his, he wrapped his up last year. So since our command staff, which is myself and the lieutenant, completed it, we were eligible to get a plaque for the agency that our command staff has participated in. They call it TRIP. It's supervisor, basically 3 levels. Supervisor, executive,
The
Just in the R50 average.
Why don't we do it next week?
or any different levels.
that number and the appraised value number would both drop significantly. The front half of the sanctuary was not artificial.
Command level is that.
Like the mayor's house was about 50.
Overviews.
Hello, how's it going?
Which is meant to support the chiefs
Good.
of
That
that.
average year built and the appraised
The
value would both.
executive level.
How's it going?
From the chiefs
Can
level.
you
We
refer
were long-term
size
size.
that sanctuary?
Kind of a big focus from the program was
With some effort, yes.
Just
take care of your people, let your people know you care. That was it.
I know that just because I was cleaning the list and there were some things
scrubbing it.
mislabeled R50
Best in town.
that I was taking out, and all the high value properties were Laurel Green.
You set up exclusively a program that you could see.
I can send you a flyer.
Okay.
That'd be great, because
And then I'll bring you up back.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Absolutely fascinating.
That's some stuff I really share.
Well, you know what we ought to do, all kidding aside, is we ought to have, a map somewhere stick this on the agenda, just for the discussion. What is it we're looking at? What are some things that we're trying to draw here?
And they literally will like have a template around
Yeah,
there.
but I think it's
good data.
It's great data. And young businesses,
Or whatever.
look at this. Look at
Do you want me to
you.
send something to you next week?
It's more common with my coworkers, son had it.
Brad, how are you?
Good, John. Church's son had it,
Top
and it all seems to be right on his age.
If he gets clarity, can you see
harassment, larceny,
She could do nothing.
disturbances, mental subject abuse,
Wow.
domestics.
This seems to
So we
be
got too many
not
people.
really invasive in children. It's like a head case. You'll have to sit there for,
Does the chief
you'll have to lay down on their back for, like I said.
They do their own annual.
60.
We can do it.
I don't know, we have to
Good policies.
It's like, you know, like whatever you do,
I'm
you have to lay flat.
Not heard for them, just conversation.
Show you that.
But it's like,
I kinda like this.
you should go, let's just go, having it addressed.
couple things here.
Continuously doing,
Yeah.
goodness, she's not for a week or two, I don't have an episode. But top 10, she's 13 now, and 7%. 4 to 50 years, trash. Those are indicators of broken windows.
Oh, sure.
So yeah, you would expect those are indicators that you've got problems. Particularly this one
Yeah.
and that one, which solid waste, which is 20%
No,
citations.
there
We're gonna be in the vaccines division.
But you've been,
They're really good scenery. One.
You said exterior. That was the catch-all.
That was the catch-all.
But look, the first division. This is for, and then
This is 2019.
Okay.
geez. That would have been, 2011, say 12 years.
I always said, there was a one team that could
I think it's a terrific snapshot.
Yeah.
Had a meeting in May, which was for a launch for the product. From April 1st, well, I guess the first is the Saturday, so it'll be actually the third, but technically the first is going to be in May.
We're not sure before we.
This is,
So I think basketball.
it's kind of wild. But I've heard names, so I don't really know. This is the kind of issue. This-
Specifically correlate that stuff.
Yeah. And when you do, because they want to do.
Yeah.
And so I think so. All the stuff, so it's basically covering Tim George and
Yeah. I'm a big hockey guy.
if the trends disappear, maybe continue, we've got 30 things or something more.
Yeah.
But so it's big territory, but it's actually, it is big. And I'm sure the other thing that's like a people really so this is the bullet points and some. Yeah, it's coming all at once.
It's nice to be.
It's funny, I talk here. Deal with this. I'll tell you. Like a day or two, 9 years after I started with. Crazy.
this will happen soon.
It's narcissism.
Yeah.
Friends. She didn't just say, "This place was the weekend." So bad. She's hearing like this thing in my side of the motor device. So everything included. And she, there's imagination. It's really
It's nice to update
I am
because I'm sure it makes sense. I'm curious.
Yeah, hungry.
well, they call the
Treat your organization.
No blood sugar.
You know, like, I'm interested in the change of the trend from these officers. What that'll do, like having more reports.
Yeah.
Like if that will change the percentages of posting and stuff. Like the grass disease is one that seems to be interesting.
Yeah, she goes with her.
It'd be interesting.
Oh, I would not have seen.
Don't be the one.
Never a dull moment.
Our function finally passed. Yeah.
Went out to Hot Shots Golf.
Yeah. Okay.
Driving.
Yeah.
It just came around.
That's it. I haven't been there. I've heard people talk about it.
Not for the weekend.
I haven't, it's not changed since I broke my finger,
Yes,
but,
yes, you have to
I
have
used
it.
to play all the time.
You can't, she did, you can't.
I know, but that would like, oh, it would be fun. We were actually,
How are you doing?
we were talking about when we build our bird,
Okay,
we
so
go look at one of those indoor golf
Anyway,
ranges.
you
Yeah.
just said
And one, just one of the spaces.
Yeah.
They're $40,000. I mean, they're,
Oh, yeah.
it's no joke.
Oh, yeah, they're expensive.
It's cool.
Okay.
That cool. No, but I mean, it is fun. I've got a friend that actually has one in his basement.
It's got a high ceiling.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. It's like 13 feet or something like that. Yeah.
Big ceiling.
It's not his whole basement, he has a build out, and it walks down and goes down. So it was just the perfect place, it was probably a secondary location. And then his other garage goes off. It's it is really cool. He had to soundproof it because he would be playing. Everybody in his wife was in the house.
Yeah, oh, that's, I didn't read that in there. I don't know, I got it. You know, I actually, first it goes in that. We can find any discrepancy, you know, we want to. I know I have any from also, people have seen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I did not have enough coffee.
What I call second chance. It says, this has to be
You got that?
Yeah, you're doing good. So they're gonna text you. Yeah. So if you sign my petition and you print instead of a sign, you can go get one of these notarized.
Reports because it's special.
Well, so what I'm saying, like, I'm looking at all this, I think the workaround is, if it requires 25, don't get 25, get 45. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I remember, like,
When I would do it, I would actually put it on the walking list. So I would know before I go there, and then if somebody said, hey, this is George, he's the neighbor, he lives across the street, he's registered to vote, I'd have him sign, then go home and verify it. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Huh.
This thing's for another 2 months. These are 8 years.
I'm Robert James. Yeah. Is your middle name? Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's like me. It's like Jeff Peters. Yeah. Oh, see, when I was a kid, so my dad, Bob, Robert, Robert James, Cleaster, you know, Keith, Robert James. Hello. She's talking to Lady Margaret, but confused, and here we are, 42 years later,
Yes.
and it's confusing, so.
But I talked
They could have
to
done that.
Frank Michelina this week, and,
Yeah.
you know, there's this notion kind of that, oh yeah, people are going back in the office, and he's like, ours, they had 312 parents, and he said 30 come in. No one's ever coming back again like that. I mean, they got rid of like floors, they got rid of the building.
Yeah.
I mean, this, and you have some of the interface with the building. You have to be really careful about this stuff. Because those people,
Oh, there's nothing.
like if they don't care, you're doing data analytics, they can do that.
Yeah,
You know,
very easily.
I said, you know,
There you
some of these
go,
young
right?
people need to be careful what they wish
Yeah,
for.
that's, yeah, you throw it away, you know, it's like for years, office suit, I don't understand how this happened. We moved to Germany. I think it was time when we were designing somehow honed down as, it was James Bond.
On a daily basis,
James
moved from the United States to Germany to India, so you could work on the project 24 hours a day.
Chuck, I'll get to the,
There's all the hard copies of it.
it's gonna take me a while to get
Wow.
from looking at those numbers. I got other things on my plate. I just can't.
I'm sure we do.
Okay.
It's a shame if they've had to dismantle
I talked to
our
Ed.
media.
I don't think we're gonna live.
I spoke with Ed. He's retired, you know, so he spoke to me on his, he told me he feels right about his reporting. So I'll have to look into it. I'm not saying he's right,
My
but
God.
Hey,
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're right. I'm like, I gotta look into it. It's gonna take a little bit of a dive.
I smell like bacon or just cooking
Here
bacon.
is,
Can you smell it?
an acre of Cape property. There's 3.4 million right there.
You're gonna be like.
There's another million on top of that.
Already ready to go.
You copied
I mean, I
him,
can certainly ask Pat about it after the meeting.
you copied him when he reported last year, 2.24 million.
Now call to
It's
order
so gross.
Okay, thank you.
the committee of the whole meeting for March 6th, 2023. The time is 7 p.m. Ben, would you please call the roll?
Member Matheny?
Here.
Member Wyrick?
Here.
Member McLeister?
Here.
Member Waring?
Here.
Member Strode?
Here.
Member Volt?
Here.
Member Orr is absent, 6 present.
Motion to excuse Member Orr.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, start off with community and economic development. Daryl?
Okay, we have discussed this previously. This is a proposal to reduce the period for non-conforming uses from inactive from 2 years to 12 months. It has gone to the Planning Commission. It has come back. And I'd like to have a motion, if there is no discussion, to schedule a public hearing for April 10th at 6:45.
So moved.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, then the second item of business on this matter is to move it to the council agenda. Are there any questions or comments at this time? Seeing none then, I'll make that motion to move it to ordinance 1623 to the council agenda.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Daryl?
Okay, the other item from the Planning Commission is a proposal to phase out office building. We are going to reclassify 33 parcels. You have those in your packet, the description. The description is also contained in the legislation. Are there any questions or comments at this time? If there are none, I'll make a motion to establish a public hearing for this on April 10th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And being redundant, I'll make a motion to move this to the council agenda. And this is ordinance 21-23.
Second.
All in favor?
I'll second that. All in favor? Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, very good.
Okay.
All right, third item. Third item is the Tax Incentive Review Council is going to meet, and we need to send it ordinance that our sole CRA property is compliant with our regulation. Are there any questions or comments about that? If there are none, then I'll make a motion that we move this to item 3C on tonight's council agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving on to finance and property. Stephanie?
Okay, And I see Jim's here. Do you want to talk about anything regarding the opiate settlement and where we are at and what we need to do?
Yeah, so if you guys remember last year, we did an agreement to accept the opioid settlements from the One Ohio distributor, Janssen Settlements. This is just another one of those. It's mainly for the retail pharmacies, as you can see in a couple of the manufacturers, Teva and Allergen. We currently, year to date, from last year, have received it was 14,000 some, and so this would just be a separate approval of that, just a different settlement. So we're just trying to approve to receive that money. So.
Okay. Is there an estimate of what we'll?
So yeah, we have no
Ever
idea
know,
what we're
right.
gonna receive. Yeah, it's
Okay.
just approving that. We
Same
accept
scenario
it.
as last year.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, any other questions? Okay, I like it. 14,000 is good. And hope for that again. If no other questions, I move to adopt.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And Stephanie?
Okay, and then 4B, just as it says, a resolution strongly urging the Ohio governor and members of the Ohio General Assembly to restore the local government fund to pre-recession levels. And I noticed we were, under utilities, we were trying to push something else through the legislature, but Jim, again, can you talk about those
Yeah,
pre-recession levels?
So back, I guess a decade ago, they decreased the amount that municipalities receive in the local government funds. And so this is essentially pushing them, the more municipalities they get to approve this, they can push it through to the governor's desk and potentially increase the percentage. I think in the write-up it says that currently what the municipalities receive is 1.6% of the total general fund, where it used to be 3.68% of the total general fund of the state. So we're just trying to get them to increase the percentage that they give out to municipalities and bring it back to a decade ago.
Any other questions? Daryl, have you been through much of those when people write in and try to get those things that are now gone?
I have.
I kind of think of them as the toll booths. As I pass the West Virginia Turnpike.
Yeah, it's about as effective as going through the West Virginia Turnpike.
Okay.
I regret to say that, well, let me just say this. The Ohio Municipal League has a fairly effective state house presence. Do its entreaties always fall favorably on the General Assembly's ears? The answer is no. But in this instance, it's probably good to have expressed our opinion, so that way if the question ever comes up, well, I never heard from you, the answer is, well, we sent you a resolution. So we've done our part.
And it has increased every year since 2017, so it's not like it is decreasing currently, but it is, like I said, it is increasing every year since 2017. So the more we can get, the better.
Alrighty.
Yep.
No other questions? I move to adopt.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving on to ordinance and rules. John's not here, so Daryl.
If John were here, he would say, I want to draw your attention to the survey which is on page 27 of your packet. A couple of noteworthy items on it. The first is that the front half of the survey, which is delineated by the line that's actually on page 28, is the standard set of questions that we have offered over the last 15 years. And it allows the community, the council, the administration, to track shifts in opinion on these very fundamental issues before us. Basically how well do you rate our services? Are they satisfactory, etc. We've had particularly good luck. Last year, or in '21, this is done every 2 years, as you may know. Ben secured 1,214 surveys. And if you take our population at roughly 17.5, that's 7% response,
Good response.
which is pretty darn good. So it's a good gauge of kind of where our community sits on some of the bigger issues. But I would draw your attention also to the second page and well, before I do that, I want to come down to box 5, property code enforcement. And we're really making a determined effort to enforce the property code, and we will see whether the residents support that, or at least the respondents support it. So I think it'll be pretty useful, and Ben has been working very hard. I will tell you, he's got some preliminary data on code enforcement and some other issues, and I think you'll find it when we get it up in front of us. I think you'll find it's quite fascinating. But then going to the second page, not only do we talk about how we communicate, and I think this is particularly on item 12, if you have followed our website and the communications available through that website, Ben's done a really good job trying to get the word out through the Sun, through an easily navigated website to find council agendas, etc. that are there. But we're going to continue to ask about ways in which people gather information about what we're doing. And then below the line, we have what I would consider policy issues. These are kind of the companion to our master plan. We talk about parks, etc. And I think the interest in the administration and council is to build upon the success of Dogwood. We have some additional opportunities coming up, particularly with Capley Park. So again, we want to go back and sample opinion on what people are looking for so we get it right the first time. And we can budget for it as well. Secure grants. We ask about a park levy, question 18. Is that something that you as a resident would support? And we allow people to choose the level of their support, which I think is great. And then I think probably one of the biggest sleeper questions is number 20. And that is, should the city encourage the Hoover West Factory's owner to tear it down? We've chased this for a considerable period of time. The question is, where does the community stand on that as we move through a negotiating period? So, are there any questions or comments about that? Ben, I think you're going to get the green light on this one. As long as I can get a motion in a second.
Actually, wait, real quick, I'm sorry, just to
Yeah.
double check. So this is gonna be, did I see May 15th is when we're gonna start to put this out?
Yeah, so we typically do May 15th to August 14th,
Okay.
midnight August 14th.
Okay,
Um,
and it goes out in the water
It-
bill like in the past, or?
yeah, so it'll go live on our website on May 15th, and then it'll be out in the June water bill.
Perfect.
And that's just because of how the mailing time
Right.
works
No, it
for the
makes
water
sense.
bill.
We good, Jamie?
Yep, oh yeah,
Perfect.
I'm just curious.
Know what the Hoover West factory is, not that there's space to describe that here, but you're
They may
free to
not.
answer that, right?
They may not,
Okay,
Mhm.
and I think we'll have, take all these with kind of a grain of salt.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, what I'd like to add is, if there aren't any other questions, or editorial comments, thank you. I'll take it's a good question, fair. I'll take a motion in a second to move this item to 5A on our council agenda. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving on to utilities, rubbish. Jamie?
All right, sit down because we have two items on the agenda this evening for the committee formerly known as rubbish. So the first item, just which this is going to be item number 6A on our agenda, just pretty much a boilerplate item, just getting chemicals for the plant. I don't think there's anything too hair-raising about that unless anybody to the left of me wants to chime in, but any questions or comments from all you guys? Okay. So with that, I would move that we place this item 6A on the agenda tonight.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, item 2, I'll pull it up here, or I guess it'd be technically item 6B, is quite a bit more exciting. So I think we all at this point know that over at Arrowhead, we're forging ahead with having a new well field put in over there to hopefully get a better source of water for our water system. Through some diligent efforts internally, it has been determined that there is federal assistance available. So the total cost is looking to be about $2.25 million, and this would start sometime in 2024 with a completion date of the fall of '24, and we are seeking to get $500,000 in federal funding assistance, and this is just one of those things that we found it and we figured we might as well go for it and see if we can get it. So I don't know if Catherine, if you had any other comments on that?
No, I think you pretty much covered
All
it.
right, perfect. Any questions or comments from any of you guys? All right, with that, I would move that we put item 6B on the agenda.
So moved.
All in favor?
Second?
Oh, sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And I'll have to entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Take a short break and then we'll continue with the special council meeting. Oh, was it for that? For the That's great.
This is basically, this is a return of earmarks, which you went away.
Yeah.
This water thing.
Oh.
Okay.
So it's quietly earmarks.
The pastor on this.
Why?
It's not a regular.
Oh, that's
Your name right. Not that plan for you, but
I'll take it.
Meryl's writing it.
Any
Right,
earmarks
okay.
for deer? Our deer population?
I'll tell you what, if you were
Betsy
looking
Sames
for a
is the best.
spring barbecue ideas, come in my backyard.
We saw it.
Jim recorded. So there's no
Altogether.
You know, it's interesting. You can't discharge it.
Last, year to date, when we approved the previous one was 14,000.
There's a way you can
So
snare
far, but you have no idea.
Really?
Well,
Someone just did something.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Was it sugar?
Yeah, we're,
Yeah,
we're just,
but
you know,
they're doing
we're
kills.
just, approving that we want to be in on it.
So like they try to get them all together?
Well,
We approved it.
areas where they have
when was it approved?
they have a park.
Summer 2020. That sounds
They
about
can
right.
literally just charge firemen.
I covered it.
Because I was like, gosh, back a month. But all the houses are behind them.
20. They could have given another 80 cents to make it even.
Right.
She would not want to scratch this.
For 7 years.
Because this woman's like, do you know Betsy Sames?
Yes.
Yeah, she just emailed me. She's like, something needs to be.
I didn't see a Supreme Court
I'll
docket.
tell you what, I mean, it's,
We got to the
you
17th.
got the will to do it.
Oh, I said, really, the most people.
I bet if I missed it, you'd let me know.
Funny the other day, and I was like,
Well, feel free to let me know because I missed it. But I have an alert.
like.
I'm
I
signing for the
couldn't-
alert
you have
email
one go
alert,
down
but
in
I could
Iowa.
always miss that. So feel free to.
Yeah.
I'll be glad to help you out.
All together.
I've never
Looking
seen
for
so
love.
many,
Good
yeah,
to have a backup
I've
just
seen
in
it in
case.
our backyard. And
deer
we're
population.
downtown.
Oh, yeah?
I feel like residential housing.
I guess they're not gonna do oral arguments.
I don't see that.
Okay, now call to order the special council meeting of March sixth, 2023. The time is 7:19 p.m. Opening prayer. Jamie.
All right,
Please.
all right, let us pray. Holy One, known by many names and beyond all names, Spirit of life, Spirit of love, Spirit of community. We ask your blessings on the people here in this room and those in the community not here tonight. Bless us as we do the work of our neighbors and guide us as always. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good. Ben, would you please call the roll?
Member Volt?
Here.
Member Stroh? Here. Member Ware?
Here.
Member McLeister?
Here.
Member Wire?
Here.
Member Matheny?
Here.
Member Orr is absent, 6 present.
Motion to excuse Member Orr.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving on to recognition of the public. At this time, members of the public wishing to address City Council may do so. Each speaker will be given 5 minutes. Comments shall be limited to legislative items appearing on tonight's agenda only. The rules for speaking and the speaker's time will appear on both TV screens. This will serve as the only warning for anyone in attendance. Any violation of the rules will result in ejection from the premises. Anybody wanting to address council tonight, please approach the podium.
Chuck Osborne, 307 Fairview Street Southeast, North Canton, Ohio. First, in order to avoid being an injection tonight and spoiling the Chief's evening, I'm confused by your language tonight. You've referred a couple items to the council agenda. And knowing your propensity to throw it on the following meeting, is the CRA approval going to be thrown on there tonight? Because it's not on your printed agenda. Mr. Revolt said move 3C, which is this item, to the council agenda. So is it going to be put on tonight's council agenda?
Excuse me, I may have misspoken. It should be item 6A.
Yes, and that was also what confused me.
That's what it is.
So you are moving it to the agenda?
Yes.
Okay. Being safe, it's on the council agenda, so I don't get thrown out. I'd like to speak to that. The CRA that you've talked about is North Ridge Apartments. That was $1 million tax abatement that nobody at City Hall would ever acknowledge who approved it. $1 million for a 40-unit apartment complex. It was whittled down with, I guess, some negotiations with the school district to $500,000. But again, we have nobody at City Hall, mayor, council members, who would acknowledge how that abatement was given. So I just want to get on the record. This is a tax abatement with no foundation legally, that nobody would stand up and acknowledge how it came into being. Thank you.
Anyone else wanting to address public tonight? Okay, final call. Okay, moving on to new business. Can I have a motion and a second to suspend Council Rule 23 to allow for consideration of legislative numbers 24-2023, 25-2023, 26-2023, 28-2023, and 29-2023
without a committee report.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Ben, would you please read the title of ordinance 24-2023?
An ordinance continuing the Community Reinvestment Area Tax Incentive Agreement between the City of North Canton and 1303 to 1305 North Main Street and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Okay. Daryl?
Okay. We need to send this down to the county for its, I believe it's the 14th, is that the date of the meeting?
Correct.
And so we're going to ask that this be adopted this evening, not only first reading, but also on emergency. And as Mr. Osborne has pointed out, it is item 6A.
And this has been a part of the CRA for what, about 10 years now?
I believe it stems from 2016 or
Okay.
2015,
I stand
one of
corrected.
those periods. And
So still over 5
it
years.
is,
6 years.
it exists as a,
And as a matter of settlement,
as a
right?
legal settlement.
Yep.
As a result.
So there is legal basis for this,
Yes, and I would also note that.
right or
the,
wrong, there is.
That one of the parties that was, in my humble opinion, that was primarily responsible for
Mhm.
this matter is no longer with us.
That's exactly right. Are you looking for a motion?
Let me just say, as long as they're complying with everything, there's nothing we can do
That is
legally.
Yes.
Right.
So,
And it's
Yeah,
already
well, the
passed.
important thing is this, there is an outstanding legal settlement that the
Right.
parties have
Right.
agreed to.
Right.
it's a legal
It's a
obligation.
legal obligation,
Mm-hmm.
but the suggestion that those who may have been party to this, when unrecognized or unidentified, is not true.
Right.
Right.
They are no longer with us.
I was gonna say, yes. So, again, looking for a motion?
I seek a motion, sir.
I will give you the said motion.
I'll make that
I
a second
Give you a motion to move ordinance, or to
to adopt,
ordinance 24/2023.
and I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Can I have a motion and a second to suspend the rules of council requiring 3 readings?
Revolt moves.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And can I have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 24-2023 under suspension of the rules?
Revolt moves.
Story seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And moving on to 6B, Daryl. Oh, sorry, Stephanie,
Okay.
tricked you.
Scared me.
We did talk about this in the meeting, and this is just our request. Putting it on record is really all we're doing, is to put this pre-recession levels back into our government fund. And we can say that we did that. So I move to adopt.
Need to read it first.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
sorry.
Yeah, Ben, could you read the
I
title?
got excited.
Sorry.
A resolution strongly urging the Ohio Governor and members of the Ohio General Assembly to restore the local government fund to pre-recession levels.
I move to adopt.
Revolt seconds.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Can I have a motion and a second to suspend the rules of council requiring 3 readings?
Revolt moves.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And can I have a motion and a second to adopt resolution 25-2023 under suspension of the rules? Motion to
adopt resolution 25-2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And Ben, would you please read the title of resolution 2023, sorry.
A resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of North Canton to execute the participation agreement for the manufacturers Teva and Allergen and the pharmacies CVS, Walgreens, and Walmart regarding the National Opioid Settlement Agreements available at nationalopioidsettlement.com and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Okay. Again, we have discussed this partially because we already received our first payment, so this would possibly be a second payment. We're unsure of the amount, but this allows us to receive that. If there are no other questions, I move to adopt.
For both seconds?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And kind of a motion and a second to suspend the rules of council requiring 3 readings.
Revolt moves.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And kind of a motion and a second to adopt resolution 26-2023 under suspension of the rules.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ben, would you please read the title of ordinance 28-2023?
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Administration of the City of North Canton to advertise and receive bids according to specifications now on file in the Director's office for the purchase of water treatment plant chemicals for use by the city's drinking water treatment plant, and authorizing the mayor, upon Board of Control approval, to enter into a contract for the purchase of said chemicals and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Jamie?
All right, well, we just talked about this a little bit ago. I don't know if there's anything else to add, or I would move that we adopt.
Revolt seconds?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And can I have a motion and a second to suspend the rules of council requiring 3 readings?
Motion to suspend.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And can I have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 28-2023 under suspension of the rules?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ben, could you please read the title of resolution 29-2023?
A resolution in support of the congressionally directed spending request of the City of North Canton, Ohio to fund the Arrowhead Water Well Project.
Okay, Jamie from the Rubbish Committee.
All right, well, we, again, discussed this a little bit earlier. This is seeking federal funding or federal assistance through a grant for this project. Again, I don't know if there's anything else to add. All right, then I, at this point, would move that we adopt Resolution 29-2023.
Revolt seconds?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And can I have a motion and a second to suspend the rules of council requiring 3 readings?
Revolt moves.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And can I have a motion and a second to adopt resolution 29-2023 under suspension of the rules?
Revolt moves.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Adjourned. I don't at all.
I totally smelled bacon.
No, how are you?
I kept putting my
Oh,
head in
got
and
a lot
like
of
separating the
pieces.
pieces. Hey, I did
It's
get
always
a
been hostile before, right?
reply
Still waiting on the house.
Because, you know,
Still, about the,
They say they're gonna get back to us.
you know, the conversation, but if it comes back.
all those
down,
transactions.
try to get back to it.
Basically,
So,
I went by